Hello everyone, I'm Udh here from We Target Common YouTube channel. Today I'm launching a playlist featuring 30 programming challenges in JavaScript and TypeScript. This playlist aims to help you to learn and apply essential JavaScript and TypeScript concepts. So let's start with frequently asked programming interview question, which is counting occurrences of characters in a given string. For example, I have one input here, JavaScript, and we need to count occurrences of every character. Like in the output section, you can see J occurs only once in the word, but A occurs twice, and remaining all characters are coming only once. So I'm not going to jump to VS Code directly, but first we'll think of logic, and once we understand the logic, we can write program in any programming language. So here I have a word JavaScript, and I need to count the occurrences of every character in this string. So whenever any program is asked in any interview, interviewer expects you to ask some questions. For example, here I have J in uppercase, but suppose I have another J which is in lowercase. So you might ask, do we need to consider cases here, or uppercase J and lowercase j are same? Another question you might ask, that here I have single word, but it is possible you might have another word like TypeScript separated using a white space. So you might ask, do we need to consider white space as well? For this problem, I am going to consider white space as well, and also I am going to ignore cases. Let me remove extra characters from here. Since I need to count occurrences of every character, so I need to iterate this word char by char. That is first step. Second step, when we pick the character, I need to note occurrences of that character into some table. So let's start the process. So first character will be J, and I have one table, and here I don't see any J exist. So I'm going to put that J within that table, and initial count I'm going to put as 1. Then I need to pick another character which is A. I see in this table that A is not present. Then I need to insert that character A, and the initial value will be 1. Next character is V, which is also not existing in table. So I'm going to insert V equal to 1. Fourth character is A. This time I see A is already present in the table. So I need to get the current count, which is 1 here, and I need to do plus 1. So new value will be 2, and I need to repeat the same process for all the remaining characters in the string. So this is the logic we need to implement in JavaScript. So the first step is to iterate the string. For that, we have something called for of loop in JavaScript. Second requirement is to have one table, and this table should have a property of not allowing duplicates, and also we should be able to search for a character in that table. So for that we can use JavaScript object. Before these two steps, I need to convert my string to a uniform case. It might be lowercase or uppercase. So for that, we have one method called toLowercase, or toUppercase if you want to convert all characters to uppercase. So let's write JavaScript program now in VS Code. So I have one .js file, and let me start by creating a function, and I will give a name to this function. This function will take an input which will be my string. So I'm going to name it as input string, and now it will have a body. So to iterate the string char by char, we have for of. So use for, which will be applied on input string. So I need to get the char, which I'm going to store into a variable, maybe char, and I need to use of here. So char of this input string, and this char I will define with const keyword. But before that, I need to use input string dot to lowercase, and the result we can store into same variable, or you can have another variable as well. So two things are done. Now I need a table, and for that I'm going to use JavaScript object. So let me use const char count maybe, and it will be empty object initially. So when I get any char, first I need to check if my object has that key. So I'm going to use one if condition, To access the key, I need to use char count in the square bracket, pass the char. If it is present, that means my object has this character, then I'm going to increment the value by 1. For that, use char count of char with plus plus. And in the else part, so when flow goes to else part, that means my character or my current character is not present in object. So I need to insert that. So char count, just put the char and assign value as 1. Now once this for loop is over, I'm going to return char count. Now it's time to call this function. So let me take input const input equal to JavaScript, and I can use console.log. Let me call the function which I created above and pass the input. Save it and I need to run it now. So I'm using Node.js so that I can run my JavaScript program easily. So open the terminal using Control Shift tilde and use command node. I have one folder here, so let me go to that folder javascript underscore programs and give the file name which is count occurrences of char in string. Hit enter. So now you can see it is giving me the count which is expected. Here we have a twice and other characters are only once. If you change or if we add a lowercase j, and let's add TypeScript as well, save it and run it again. So this time you can see j is twice, e is also twice, and we have other characters also which are twice, and we are also considering the white space. So this is one way. We can make this program little more optimal using map. Yes, in JavaScript also we have map, and concept is very much similar whatever we study in Java. A map is a key value pair and it will not allow you duplicate keys. Let's implement map in this program now. So I'm going to create a new function. So let me duplicate this function first, and here I will rename this function using map. So basic is same, it is going to accept one string. Here also we need to convert to lowercase, but instead of object I'm going to have one map. So here I need to use new keyword and use map. Since we're using map, so we cannot insert elements like this. Since we're making this program little optimal, so let's write only single line to update the map. So char count, we have a method set. First parameter will be key and second one will be value, as you can see here. So key will be my char, but value we cannot assign simply. First we need to see if this key is already present in my map. So first I'm going to use char count. We have a method get, pass the char. So if the character is present in this map, then return it. Otherwise, I am going to have one default value which will be 0. Need to put this into parenthesis. And then I'm going to put plus 1. So let me explain this line again. So if this character is present, give me the value, then add plus 1. If it is not present, then it is going to return you undefined, then give me 0. Not undefined, give me 0. And then I'm going to add plus 1. So the new character will be inserted with the initial value as 1. But if the character is already present, then it will be added or it will be incremented by 1. Now let me call this method here, and I'm going to remove this unwanted data in input. Let me save and run it. So here also we can see similar output, but here we see something map of 9. If you don't want output like this, then we can convert this into simple object. For that, before returning, we can call object. Then we have one method called from entries and pass the map. Save it and run the program now. So now you can see the similar output. Let's try another and last approach. If you have more number of experience, then interviewer will expect you to write much cleaner code, which we can write using existing method called reduce. So this reduce method in JavaScript is a powerful tool which can be used to process arrays, and we can transform them into a single value or object. Here we are using for loop, right? But using this reduce method, it will do automatically iteration and just want to write logic how we want to convert that character or what kind of output we want. Let's apply reduce method for this program. So I'm going to create another method, or better let me duplicate it, and I will remove these lines. So first thing I'm going to use spread operator, which is used to convert the string into an array of individual characters. That means use triple dots and input string, which will give me an array. Now I'm going to call reduce method. This reduce method takes two arguments. First one callback function, and if I go down, you can see another argument is initial value. So basically what it is doing, the reduce method calls the callback function one time for each element in the array. So basically here we need to pass one accumulator, which will be in which format we want output. So let's give the variable name, which will be char count, because we don't mention the type in JavaScript. Based on how we're using, it will be decided at runtime. And current value will be char. So let me use char itself. So in short, this char we're using to represent char of string, and after processing this char, we are going to store the output in this char count. Now we need to write logic. So use arrow, then you can use curly braces, and here logic will be same as first method. So basically we can combine, that means char count of char. If it is available, then give me the value, otherwise give me 0. If you put into parenthesis and then add +1. Same logic whatever we use in the second function here. Now I'm going to store into char count of char. So after processing that char, I'm going to return char count. So that same object will be used as accumulator and in the callback function. And you remember we need to pass initial value, which was basically second or last argument. So use comma here and pass initial value, which will be empty object. Use the semicolon, and we can directly use return statement here and change the method name also, like reduce. Save it. Now I'm going to call this method here. Save it. Let me run, and probably we should get the same output. So this method you might feel little confusing, but once you practice and understand, it is really easy. Thank you everyone.